Hey guys, welcome to the Touchdown Table. I'm Ryan, that's Tyler, that's Jordan. And hard to believe a quarter of the season is already over, but it's on to week 5, so let's make some week 5 picks. It's going to be a fun week.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun weekend for me and Tyler. It's going to start off being really fun or really not fun because our favorite team is playing on Thursday night at home against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Yes, it's a Bucs at the Bears. If you've been watching these pick videos or watching this channel at all, you know I'm always going to pick my Bears. And if I'm being completely honest, what they put on the field last week was nothing short of awful, in my opinion.
Offensively.
Offensively, of course. The defense actually played fine. The Colts' offense is probably middle of the pack, but they still have some decent players. The defense held their ground. The offense did not look good. Nick Foles did not look good. Tune into our podcast to hear more about that. I'm sure we'll be talking more about that. You can probably find it anywhere where you find your podcast. Same name here, The Touchdown Table. So go check that out for more. I don't want to go too long here. So I'm just going to make my pick. You already know who it's going to be. I'm going to pick the Bears, even though how they played last week is not making me want to pick them. But I still will. 24-20, they'll beat Brady's Bucs.
When you look at this game, I think the essential question is, can the Bears offense keep up with Tampa's? And I'm not convinced, because even without Chris Godwin, you really saw that offense was able to come back from an early deficit in that Chargers game. Brady looked good, 5 touchdown passes, and that's without Godwin. So I don't know if he'll be back for this game. I hope he is, because he's on my fantasy team, but that's irrelevant. I'm not.
Been that big last year.
I did the face of my team. We'll get to that later. So I'll have to figure that out. But I think Tampa wins this game because I just don't think Nick Foles can keep up with that offense, with the Bucs offense after disappointing showing last week for them. Bucs win 27-21.
Yeah, Ryan. I pick with my head, not my heart. As much as I want to pick the Bears to win this game, I can't. The offense was terrible. I thought Nick Foles coming in would make it look better. Granted, that Colts defense
weren't bad at the end, but that's because basically at the end of the game they were just.
That was our only good drive downfield.
It was awful. It was a horrendous sight to see as a Bears fan to watch that offense yesterday for us.
Yeah, I know the Colts defense is good, but the Bears can't be that bad on offense if they expect to beat teams like the Bucs. Buccaneers win this game 23-16.
You have to remember the Bucs did have a bad first half, but the second half was great.
Okay, the Bears had a bad whole game.
Let's
move on to the next game, because
I
cannot talk about the Bears right now much longer. I'll talk about them on the podcast later, and it's not optimistic. Next game, Panthers at Falcons. At this time, we don't know what the Falcons are going to do on Monday Night Football because we're pre-recording this beforehand. But the Panthers have looked good 2 weeks in a row now, beating the Cardinals. Last week, really impressive. None of us expected that, not even Ryan. And I'm going to ride the hype train here. I think they're looking a lot better. I'm picking them. It might be stupid, but I'm picking the Panthers to win 3 in a row. They win 30-27.
Yeah, it's kind of weird that are they 2-0 without CMC now?
Yeah.
That's weird, and I think 3-0 is just too weird. I mean, the Falcons will probably be 0-4 heading into this game. Like Tyler said, we haven't seen the Monday night games yet. They'll probably be 0-4. They might have a new coach, and if they do have a new coach, he's going to start out 1-0, because I think Atlanta will finally get a win in a typical Falcons high-scoring game, 33-28.
Sweet Caroline. Bum, bum, bum. I don't know if you saw that video. I saw it on Instagram.
Oh, I did, yeah.
It was the Panthers celebrating after the win against a good Cardinals team last week. That's always fun to see. It's a team of youngsters with a young head coach, first year coaching in the NFL, and Matt Rule. So they've been playing really great. I haven't really watched them, but they just beat a good Cardinals team. And you know what? I'm singing Sweet Caroline with them. I'm jumping on the train just like Tyler and Hector playing the Falcons, so they'll probably blow a lead anyways. 30-24. I have the Panthers reigning victorious. Teddy Two Gloves going to do it again. Next game is the Buffalo Bills, who are just playing awesome now against a Tennessee Titans team who did not play this week because of COVID concerns, and who knows what's actually going to happen for the next week's game, because they have a lot of people with COVID on their team right now. So we don't know the status of this game yet. But if it goes down as scheduled, the Buffalo has just been playing really, really great. And it's hard to pick against them right now. 28-20. Josh Allen continues his MVP-like season.
Yeah, I mean, this game, 2 undefeated teams, and obviously there is still some uncertainty about will it actually be able to be played. I think this will be a hard-fought, low-scoring game, but in the end, I think that Buffalo's defense is really going to be able to step up for the first time in a while. It's been all about Josh Allen and these huge passing games, these high-scoring games. I want to see something from Buffalo's defense. Josh Allen keeps doing what you're doing, but I think Buffalo's defense finally plays at a similar level that we saw from them last year. Buffalo takes a more low-scoring game, 20-16 over Tennessee.
Like you guys have said, there's a question mark on whether this game will be played or not. It's on the thumbnail, so Maybe that might have to change, or I can just cross it out. We'll see. But the Bills' offense has looked too high-powered. Josh Allen seems to be okay. Something happened to his non-throwing shoulder during that game. But I believe he's going to be okay, and this Bills' offense is going to continue to run over teams. Bills win 31-24. Next game. Raiders at Chiefs. Now, the Raiders have been a team that I know their record is not looking great, but they're still playing well. They're staying in games with good teams. I'm going to keep it short. I think they do that again this week. Ultimately, the Chiefs, too high-powered on offense. They win 33-29.
Yeah, this Kansas City team, they're going to be undefeated coming into this game, and I say that ahead of the Monday night games. I can say that confidently. Wow. So I think when you look at this team, this offense,
I gotta hope you're wrong.
They're spoiled. You look at Travis Kelce, Tyreek Hill, McCole Hardman, Sammy Watkins, Clyde Edwards-Helaire. This offense is just stacked with weapons. So even if you contain one guy or one group, there's still more than enough other guys there to make plays. Kansas City's hard to beat right now. They take it 34-23.
Oh, what is that? Is it the sun? I can't see. It's too powerful. No, it's the Chiefs' offense, as Ryan said. They're playing great now, and so is their defense. The Chiefs' offense is so phenomenal, but you look at that Chiefs' defense, and they're pretty good as well. They've been adding some people, and I think it's going to continue to roll on against Las Vegas, who's not very bad. I think they'll keep it close. It'll be barely a two-score game, but it will still be that 32-23. I have the Chiefs taking it again. Next game is the Carolina. Oh, that's not Carolina. I did it
Why
again.
do you always switch up these two teams?
I look at the bird, and I just think, oh, okay. When I think of it, I see because Cardinals. But it's not Carolina. It is the Cardinals.
Is that the third week in a row?
That's the third week in a row.
You do
I have done this. But you know what? Do I need to say the other team, though? I mean, it's the Jets.
Local rec league team.
And you know what? They put up a good fight against a Broncos banged-up team. But I think that Adam Gase should be out of there soon. Just like we just found out before this video that Bill O'Brien is out of there. We'll talk about that more on our podcast, and I'm sure Ryan will have some words to say about it soon. But they're playing the Jets, and they're coming off 2 bad losses to the Lions and to, why am I blanking on who beat the Panthers, who are Care. And I have Carolina, not Carolina, Cardinals taking them down this week. Okay. Yeah,
just move on, please.
31-14.
Save him from his misery.
I mean,
I tried to make it cool.
No.
Arizona, they started out 2-0, and everyone's like, oh, is this team going to contend for the division? But then
my cousin said they're winning the division.
Now they know they went a little mini slump here. They're lost 2.
You know who you are.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's still not done yet, but they're playing the 4-0 Seahawks in that division.
Yeah, like I said, little mini slump here, 2-2, but
you walked into that.
I did, but what better way to get out of a little slump than playing the Jets? Yeah. Nice confidence booster for Arizona. They win it 28-17.
The only thing worse than Jordan messing up the Arizona Cardinals name 3 weeks in a row is this Jets team.
Yeah.
They're so bad right now, and I know the Cardinals aren't looking good. He'll be back soon, but I'm picking the Cardinals to win this game because the Jets have looked so bad. A good bounce-back game for them. They win 23-14. Next game is the Eagles at the Steelers. A surprise, the Eagles finally got a win, not a tie this time. It was good to see that happen, though, because people were losing faith in Carson Wentz. I was glad he was able to play better. The Steelers coming off a bye week. They didn't expect it to happen. It is their bye week. I think they win this game off the rest and anxious to play. They beat this Philly team 31-20.
Yeah, for Philadelphia, really, really important win on last Sunday night. Really big for them. Welcome back, Jordan. Really, really big for them. Carson Wentz, I still do have some concerns. I have some concerns about that offensive line with all the injuries that they've had to deal with. And against this Steelers pass rush, oh boy, Pittsburgh's going to be rested, and they're going to be anxious to get back on the field after the disappointment of having a game canceled. They're ready. This Pittsburgh team is looking good, and the AFC North is more wide open than some people may have thought. Pittsburgh takes it 23-21 and moves to 4-0.
Yeah, I don't really know what you guys said, but I'm just going to say what I have to say. And you know what team it is right now, so I got to mention my boy. I'll do that in just a second. But before I say that, I'd just like to say, not many people picked the Eagles to win last week on Sunday Night Football, but your boy right here, I picked the Eagles to win, and that's thanks to my boy and our boy, EDP. If he did not exist, I would not have picked the Eagles to win that game. I told him that in our group chat. However,
why do we spend so much time on EDP every time in these videos?
Dude, you have to do that, okay? Anyways, I'm sorry, though. You're not going to get it this time, EDP. The Steelers are just too good. 26-17. EDP will be frowning on game day.
Pick the next game.
It is the Los Angeles Rams at the Washington football team. The Rams have looked good, and Washington were playing a really good team last week in the Ravens, but they held up a bit of a fight. So I think that Dwayne Haskins. So first of all, I just had to mention this. His job was kind of on the line. Ron Rivera said he would pull him if he played bad. He ended up doing good. Didn't score a lot of touchdowns. Got a bunch of yards. Playing a tough Ravens team. I don't think they're going to win this week. I think the Rams are playing very good right now. I love their offense and their defense, of course. Defense did well for me in fantasy football last week. Thanks, guys. 24-16. I have the Rams winning.
Yeah, the Rams were a little disappointing last week.
I
know they won,
week.
but they really didn't look their best. But in the end of the day, they got a game-winning interception late in the game to stop the Giants' comeback attempt. They won 17-9. I think they win here. The Washington football team, they've been tough. They've played some good teams tough at least for a little bit. I don't think they're quite as bad as some people think. There's definitely some bright spots on that team and on that coaching staff. But in the end, I think the Rams are the better team. They take it 32-20.
We can speed it up a little bit starting now. I'll start it here.
Press triangle.
I know the Rams didn't play very well last week. They're playing a better Washington team than expected, but I think the Rams will bounce back even though they won, play a better game and win 27-20. Let's move on to the next game in the game in which the Washington football team played last week in the Baltimore Ravens. But it's the Bengals at the Ravens. Jordan, say it again.
Go Joe!
Joe Burrow finally getting his first win. The Bengals getting their first win in the season. It was happy to see it. I think we were all happy to see that.
Yes.
Especially
I can't do it right now.
the great state of Louisiana.
The great. I had to do it louder, but I didn't want to scream into the mic.
Well, let's back away from it.
Go Joe!
Go Joe. I'm not picking Joe this week. The Ravens are playing really well. They win 32-23.
I was happy to see Burrow get his first win, but in the end, I don't think he'll get his second. He'll have to wait a little longer. I think the Ravens win their second straight, 31-24.
I would like to be able to say Go Joe, but I'm actually gonna have to say No Joe because I have the Ravens winning this game. I have it closer than most people would expect it to because I like my boy Joe Burrow. But I have the Ravens winning 32-27. Next game is the Jacksonville Jaguars at the Houston Texans. I'm going to keep this short because I know Ryan's going to have some words to say about this one. Bill O'Brien is fired. Recent news for us, 26-3. I do have the Texans winning their first game with whoever the heck their new head coach is going to be, interim head coach, I should say.
Did you say 26-3?
23. Maybe I said 3.
I thought I heard 3.
He could have said 3. I mean, who knows?
We're not winning by that much. Okay, so
even stretch, you might win.
Yeah,
have you guys got a turnover yet?
No. The season's half over.
All right, no ranting. Let's go.
Turnover.
No ranting.
So, I just want to say really quick that I don't know who my team's coach is because literally moments before we were getting ready to film this video, my dad calls me. My dad's not even a Texans fan.
Look it up.
And he's like, O'Brien just got fired. And I'm like, well, when I look it up and I don't see it at first, but then I
Adam
refresh.
Schefter, they got our
I'm
backs.
like, oh my God, this is great. It felt like it was something that should happen, but it didn't feel like it was ever going to happen. I was excited. It was necessary. This team with the talent they have to be 0-4. Some of the play calling has been questionable. They've had a tough schedule, but if you go back and watch the
Vikings
games,
are not a tough team.
Yeah, the Vikings especially. That I think is where you draw the line, and I just don't agree with the play calling.
Done.
Yeah, now that's what Cal McNair and that Texans ownership said because they were done, and I could rant for hours on how bad they've looked in the first 4 weeks.
That's what the podcast is.
Yeah, that's what the podcast is. We'll get to that, believe me. How bad they've looked and, why, we need to let Deshaun Watson just do his thing, kind of let Russ cook, but for Deshaun Watson. Both these teams aren't that good right now, and whoever our head coach is, it's a really weird situation for me. I don't know who's coaching my team. I'll have to see if they announce the interim after this video. Both these teams stink. Texans somehow win 16-13, and this is just going to be a blockbuster. You don't want to miss this one. This should be in prime time, right?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, I mean,
it's like the Broncos Jets game.
If we win, we're in third.
That's sad. I mean, there's the NFC least, and then there's the AFC South.
But we have the Titans.
Yeah, there's the Titans in there. But everyone else is kind of. I mean, the Colts are doing good too. But the bottom two teams, which are these two teams, the bottom of the division, both not playing well so far. But I think the Texans get their first win away from Bill O'Brien and of the season. They win 26-24. Next game, the Dolphins at the 49ers. I think they're going to be getting Garoppolo back this week, which is going to be a huge help for them. I think it'll be a close game. Ryan Fitzpatrick will keep his team in it, but ultimately, Kyle Shanahan's 49ers will win 31-28.
This is my upset of the week. I've got Miami. It's a surprise, but I think this Dolphins team and this, this team. I think with a team, with Brian Flores as the head coach and Ryan Fitzpatrick, who plays the game well. He knows that it's going to be two a time eventually, but he plays the game with such heart, and he loves this game of football, and you can tell that. So I think that Miami, I think that team's underrated. San Francisco, Nick Mullins started out good, then went down. Will it be Jimmy Garoppolo? Probably, but still, I think that Miami pulls off an upset. I think they're better than their record, and I think Ryan Fitzpatrick has a better than expected day. Miami upsets San Francisco 26-20.
Miami Dolphins. Miami Dolphins. That's like their fight song. I know that because of Madden or something like that.
You're picking them too?
Yes, I am picking them too.
Right. Okay.
Ryan said it's a surprise. A surprise again. 2.0. I got the Dolphins winning again. If you've heard me talk before, I'm not the biggest fan of Jimmy Garoppolo. I think he'll be alright if he does return. But this team is still banged up. And you know what? The Dolphins looked pretty good against a stellar Seahawks team last week. They were in it for a little bit. Then Russ did his thing. Ended the game with a nice score and then put the Dolphins out of it. Blew them out at the end. But they were fighting hard throughout that game. Devontae Parker played great. Fitzpatrick, he even did some good stuff. They are a fighting team. Don't count them out just yet. I have the Dolphins winning 23-20.
Okay.
All right, Chuck. Now we got the... Chuck previously coached one of these teams in the Indianapolis Colts, and they're playing a Cleveland Browns team who is going to be at home. The Browns looked really good last week against the Cowboys. They let them get back in at the end, which was just ridiculous that they let it happen. But for some reason, the Cowboys just have to get down, and then Dak just starts throwing till the universe ends. Anyways, they looked good, and even with Nick Chubb out, I think they're going to get another win. OBJ finally did something. And the Colts, I saw them last week. They weren't bad, but the Browns, I think, will be able to pull it out. In the end, 28-21, the Browns get another dub.
Hey, look at these Browns, right? I mean, I said this before the year. And,
the Cowboys might be the second
said
word.
something that I saw you post.
I saw you.
It was Kyle Brandt. But yes, I said stuff like that before. It was cool to say that, and I think when you look at this Browns team, it's really starting to come together, just like I said it would. Everyone was, week one they got destroyed by the Ravens. Well, look, now they've won 3 straight. I know the loss of Nick Chubb is unfortunate for them, and as you mentioned earlier, it sucks for my fantasy team, the face of my team.
Yep.
That will be something I have to work around. But they still have Kareem Hunt, and Kareem Hunt I think is capable for being a number one. Is capable of being a number one back for however long Nick Chubb is gone. I've heard could be 4 weeks, could be 6 weeks, but we'll see. The Browns, this is going to be a race for this AFC North, and I said it that they were going to win the AFC North. The Browns, I said that they were going to win that division from the beginning. So I think that they will, and I think they're on track to. They get to 4-1. They beat the Colts 33-24.
I agree with you. I have the Browns winning. They're looking better than I expected. I didn't think they were going to be that bad. But you look at their division right now, and I think they're still in third place, right? Because the Steelers are undefeated, and the Ravens have the one loss to the Chiefs. I'm not sure exactly what the
they're half game out of first. I don't even know how.
Yeah,
maybe a half game.
But there is a chance they can win this division. They're playing well. I think they keep going. It's going to be tough against this Colts defense, but I think they win 29-24. Next game, Giants at Cowboys. Cowboys defense is very bad. We saw it against the Browns. Their offense absolutely just rolled over them. It's been awful, and it's unexpected because there's so many good names on the defense. I think they hold the Giants to 19 points next week, though, so that's probably by far their best performance, and they win the game 30-19. Bold prediction. We see another interception by Daniel Jones. That's not bold at all. I'm just joking.
He did fumble last week.
He almost did.
He fumbled.
He put it on the ground.
He fumbled and jumped at it because he was expecting himself to fumble at some point.
All right. I mean, it's not really, it's not surprising when you see him fumble. But this NFC East, this team's really going to send a team to the playoffs. Like, let that sink in. Dallas has to get better on defense.
Hey, I had the Eagles win the division. It's
a long way until January. We've got
more
questions about this division.
Yeah, we do.
But I think Dallas will get a win here. The Giants, they're fighting, but they're not quite there yet. They're not on the same level as this Cowboys team. I think Dak has another big day, but comes out on the winning end. Cowboys win it 28-21.
Look, okay, Dallas, they have not been playing very great so far. The football that they have been putting out in the field has not been the greatest, but they still do have a stacked offense. And you know what? As much as I love Zeke, the run game is not working for them early right now. I think that they just have to stick to the ways that they're winning games. Yeah. Let Dak cook. Zeke, he's a great running back. I think he should be mentioned up there with so many of them. But for some reason, he's just not going to get going right now. They used him a lot in the screen game, and that worked out well. So maybe just start doing that. Of course, you can't completely abandon the run game, but you got to just do what's been working for you. For some reason, Tyler just put a duck on the table. Dallas is not as bad as they look, in my opinion. I think they'll bounce back. And Ryan talked about the Jets being a good bounce-back team for the Cardinals. Well, the Giants are also a good bounce-back team as well. So the Cowboys will win 30-17. Next game is the Denver Broncos at the New England Patriots. We haven't seen the Patriots play yet. We don't know what's going to happen with Cam when we're making this. I would assume he wouldn't be back, right? I don't think so. Like it's probably going to be like 10 days. So I'd assume 14. Isn't it 14? It's like 10 to 14 now. Who knows? Maybe. So whatever. We don't know. But either way, we know that the Broncos aren't looking too good in terms of their injuries. Is Drew Lock going to be able to come back? I'm not sure when he's able to come back.
Probably not.
Yeah. But anyways, they looked. I don't really know what to say about the Broncos. Honestly, they started their third quarterback now. They look injured. You know what? I do have to say something though, because Bradley Chubb got a few sacks. Like it's against the Jets, regardless. But hey, defensive player of the year. Keep it up, Bradley. Anyways, let's get on to it. Bradley's not going to win this game. It's going to be 26-18. The Patriots will win with or without Cam.
Yeah, there's really quarterback, injury / illness problems for both of these teams. So, going to be an interesting matchup. But I do have New England winning it in a close one, 24-23. Should be a fun one.
Yeah. I'm going to keep it quick. This Broncos team had a lot of potential going into this year. All their top players have seemed to get injured. I think that has a toll on them. It continues to have a toll on them. The Patriots win. Cam or Camless, they win 27-20. Next game. The Vikings at the Seahawks. Well, we got an interesting matchup here. We can talk about the cooking. Is let Russ cook versus let Dalvin cook.
Yeah.
Right? I mean,
how about we just let Russ cook? I'm so used to saying that. How about we just let Kirk cook, meaning let him throw interceptions to an awful Seahawks team?
No.
You think that's how it works? That's how it works against my team.
If you let Dalvin Cook be Dalvin Cook, that team's going to win. Ryan, you have plenty of experience with that. They ran all over your Texans last week.
Hey, at least he was on my fantasy team. So I was like, if they're going to score, you deal with him. And I think
that's what I said about Jonathan Taylor, but then he was out for half the game.
Yeah.
Never played him at the end. He wasn't actually out or injured, but they just were playing Jordan Wilkins and Naheem Hines. I don't like those two.
It seemed like the Vikings were getting back on track. I don't think they can keep up with the Seahawks team. They'll win. I'm saying the Seahawks will win 38-30.
I see this matchup and I think, okay, maybe the Vikings can, put some points on the board. They did it, last week. They did it the game before that against the Titans, even though they lost. So this offense can score. And Seattle's defense has been iffy, but at the end of the day, Russell Wilson will bail that defense out if they have a rough game. He's done it before. He did it last year, and he's doing it this year. Russell Wilson's the MVP until he's not. The MVP award is honestly his to lose. At this point, he just got to keep doing what he's doing. Seahawks win it 34-24 on SNF.
Yeah, and when you guys see this game, is there anything you guys think of between these two teams? Any historic thing that happened, maybe in the playoffs? Or
Blair Walsh?
Yeah, Blair Walsh. There it is.
They've had good matchups on Monday Night Football last year. I think they had a good matchup.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a good matchup again. Look, we understand after last week that, oh my gosh, Russell Wilson threw an interception. He is human. He is a really good human, though. He's a darn good human football player. Still, he'll keep it up against a Vikings team who is going to get another loss. I'm very upset that they got a win now because I don't like them. Ryan, your team needed to do better, but it's okay. We both lost last week. 34-27. Russ is going to continue to cook, and the Vikings are going to continue to rot. All right. Last one for me. Los Angeles Chargers at the New Orleans Saints. This is going to be the Monday Night Football game. Hopefully, Michael Thomas will be back. They need him back. They got a good win this week. They were down 14-0 early against the Lions, and then the Lions did what they do best, and they blew a
lead.
A lead. I was going to double-digit lead is what I was going to say. So yeah, that's what it was. If they get Michael Thomas back, I think they'll be rolling again. That was good to see for me and Ryan because we have them going to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So I have them winning against the Chargers, who they looked all right. Justin Herbert played good again. 27-20 though.
Very
The
good.
Saints shall be Saints.
Yeah, the Saints, they have this weird thing where, they're always good. They always finish 12-4, 13-3. They're in that range, but they always start out with a weird loss or two. They're always, 1-2 or 2-2. It doesn't always come out good out of the gate. But at the end of the day, this team is a good team. I still think that Drew Brees will find a way to get back to where he was, last year for one more magical run. Saints win their second game in a row against the Chargers, 33-17.
I'll start off with this. The Chargers looked very good last week against the Bucs. Herbert was playing good. Defense not so much. But I want to talk about the Saints for a second because without Michael Thomas this last week, these last couple of weeks, I think this could help the Saints in the long run. They were not primarily throwing to other players. It was always Michael Thomas. They had the chance to do that now. Emmanuel Sanders is getting more involved in the game. Ryan, I'm sure you like that. You have him on your fantasy team. So guys like that, once Michael Thomas gets back into the game, will be more involved. And ultimately, I think this will make this team better. I think Michaal Thomas should be playing this week against the Chargers, especially on that
I thought
Monday.
he was going to play last week. I was devastated.
So I think they win this game 33-31, and hopefully we see more of the Saints of old. So there it is, our Week 5 picks already.
That's crazy.
It's it's going by so quickly. It makes me upset. But I'm just so
Enjoy it.
glad we got football. There's still plenty left. We still got 3/4 of the season left, so that's a good thing. Make sure to like this video. Subscribe to our channel, hit the notification bell to be notified every time we post a video. Make sure to comment your opinions on who you think is going to win any of these games, what you thought about our predictions. So let us know all that down below.
Check out the podcast.
Go check out the podcast. And with that, we will see you guys later.
See ya.